What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from us here at Beta. I'm your host, Noelle, and if you guys are new here to beta.com, I want to say welcome. Thanks so much for joining me, and if you are a returning viewer and shopper, guys, thanks so much for tuning in today to hang with me. Now, again, I am your host. I'm Noelle, and I'm down here in our Beta Palo Alto location. Right now, I'm coming to you live from our Beta Shop studio, so if you guys happen to be in the area, come on down to Beta Palo Alto, hang out with me and our awesome beta testers out here on the floor. Maybe if you guys are not in the area, that's okay too. You can shop all of our beta inventory online. You can also check out where your local beta store is. Just look up our store locations online and head on into a beta store to discover the world's most innovative products. You guys, I'm so excited that you're here today because I am about to introduce you to the next generation of sound. That's right, I've got not one, but two Cell Alpha speakers on set with me today. And not only am I going to show you guys how to set up your Cell Alpha speakers, spoiler alert, there is an amazing app integration at play here, but also we're going to listen to some music. Yeah, I'm going to demo some music for you guys, and we are going to get a little groovy here in our Beta Shop studio, so stick around, you're not going to want to miss it. Now, before I dive into the app and to the live demo, I want to tell you a little bit about Syng, the company behind the Cell Alpha. So Syng, spelled S-Y-N-G, really designed and developed this speaker to provide a really unique, totally enveloping, intimate sound experience. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never heard the word intimate used to describe a speaker, but that's really Syng's mission, is to blur the lines between the artist and the listener, and that's what gives us that really, really intimate experience where we can listen to our favorite music in a way that we've never heard it before. Now, not only that, you guys, but these are the world's first triphonic speakers. Now, I've never heard of that term before, so I did a little bit of research, and let me tell you what triphonic sound is. Triphonic sound essentially is 3D sound. So we think about 3D visual experiences where we have, our 3D glasses on, or maybe you've got a VR headset of some sort, and you really feel fully immersed in that experience. Well, 3D sound is the same way. You're going to feel completely immersed in the sound experience here provided by your Cell Alpha speakers. Whether you have one or more, you can pair up to 4 Cell Alpha speakers. That's right, 4 Cell Alpha speakers. You can configure them and have an incredibly immersive yet intimate sound experience, listening experience, thanks to your Cell Alphas. Now, they pair really beautifully together, and again, we're going to jump into the app integration, and I'm going to show you the configuration capability that comes to us through the app, so you can actually have, like I said, more than one Cell Alpha in a given space. And with the triphonic sound, you can project the sound to reach all of the different dimensions of that given space. So you're really going to fill the room with that rich, round, full-bodied sound that's so unique to the Cell Alpha speaker. We're going to talk a little bit too about the sound specs and the technology here because, of course, that is huge. But really, you guys, it's all about the listening experience. It's all about you as the listener and sort of how you feel. Music and sound in general is such a personal experience. We all perceive sounds in a different way. And Syng is really, really aiming to give you that same sort of personal listening experience here. Not only that, but customizable listening experience too, where you can be in control of how you hear the music and not only hear it, but also see it. Yep, there's a couple of visual components here as well. So let's go ahead and dive in so that you guys can get a better idea of how these Cell Alphas work. Now, I got to be honest with you, when I first saw them out here on the floor in our Beta Palo Alto location, I had no idea what they were. And when I heard that they were speakers, when I learned that they were speakers and then heard our beta testers play music through them, I was blown away. Now, a little bit about the anatomy of the Cell Alpha. So we have the cell here, and inside the cell, we've got 2 woofers. We have one on the top and one on the bottom, and they're sort of, they're kind of configured in this or juxtaposed in this sort of balanced configuration here. And what that does is it actually creates a really unified sound. So they move kind of together to create a really balanced and unified sound. We also have 3 drivers, 1, 2, 3. And again, I mentioned that 3D sound, right? So we've got 3 drivers here. So you're going to be able to hear the music at all angles of the speaker. So that's a little bit about the anatomy of the cell itself. But guys, let's talk not only about the hardware, but the software here. So we're going to dive into the Syng Space app. And again, that's Syng, S-Y-N-G. So once you've purchased your Cell Alpha speakers, again, you can purchase one, you can purchase two. They start at $1,799, and you can pair up to 4 at once in a given space. So just click that buy now button and you can get yours right now, right this second. Click buy now, and you can purchase your Cell Alpha. After you've done that, you're going to want to download the app on your device, a tablet, a smartphone, whatever you have. Download the Syng Space app and get started. And here we go. We're going to pull up the app so that you guys can see exactly how I set up both of these. We're going to start with this one here to my left, and then we're going to incorporate the cell here on my right. So I'm going to click Get Started. Now the first step is to actually put your phone number into the app to create the account. So I'm adding the number here to our Palo Alto location. And what this does is it actually gives you a verification so that your account is verified. You have everything all set up. All right, so we get a code sent via SMS to your phone, and then you can actually start to set up your Cell Alphas. Now, I'm going to go ahead and kind of wipe us clean here and get us started from the very beginning. So let's go into our spaces, and we're going to actually remove this space altogether, and we're going to start fresh so you guys can see it exactly from the start to the finish of how you can set up your Cell Alpha. So here we go. We're going to go to Cell Setup. And everything, you guys, from the speaker design, how beautiful, how pristine and futuristic it is, to the actual design of the app is just impeccable. I mean, it's beautifully done. Check out these graphics. You're going to see them animated here on the app as well. So let's press continue. Now I have this Cell Alpha plugged in, so it's ready to go. It's ready to be paired. And we're going to click connect. Now, initially, you want to make sure that your Bluetooth is on because the initial pairing process does happen via Bluetooth. So our Bluetooth is on. And now you can see this animation, right? The circles are going. We're adding the cell to our account. And you guys might have heard that little sound effect there. That's that activation of the pairing happening. So we are getting there. Again, you want to make sure that your cell is plugged in and near your mobile device, both of which I have done here. And voila, there we go. We are paired. So we can move on to the next step of connecting our cell. And again, we're going to do this one right now. So let me show you guys in the app. We are ready to go. Now the next step is to connect to the Wi-Fi. So we initially paired via Bluetooth, but really we're gonna connect via Wi-Fi because that's how the pairing here works. That's how the operation works, is via Wi-Fi. So we're going to connect via Wi-Fi, and I'm going to put in my Wi-Fi password here and connect the app. So let me do that just 1 second. Alrighty, so we are almost there, guys. This setup process is so fast. Truly, like I've got to be at least 75% of the way done here. It happens so quickly, and yeah, and it's just as quick to pair 1 as it is to pair 2, as it is to pair 3 and 4. It takes no time at all. And again, there's really so much intentionality, not only behind the design of the hardware, but also of the software. So this is a really cutting edge experience. Everything from the pairing process to the listening process is so great. Okay, so we are all set up. We are connected now to our Wi-Fi. So if we press continue, this is where the configuration comes in, the personalization comes in. So I get to actually choose where my cell lives. And you could put, living room, kitchen, dining room, wherever you want your cell to live. Now, again, you can have multiple cells in one space, or you can create multiple spaces for your cells. It really just depends on where you want them to live within your home or within your space. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put studio because we are in the studio right now. So this cell is going to live in our shop studio. Okay, yes, we're going to connect to our local network. Now, guys, here comes the fun part, we're going to do our very first sound check so that you can actually hear what the speaker sounds like. So it says, let's optimize your sound with a sound check. So here we go. I'm gonna be quiet for a second so that you can actually hear this. And actually, let's take a front view with this camera, because it's a experience that you can actually see too. Actually, maybe we can do a top-down aerial view so that you can see how this pairs. Now again, I mentioned that there's two woofers here. We've got one on the top and one on the bottom. And they're configured in this sort of force-balanced way. So let's start our sound check. Take a listen. Now, you guys heard that. I hope you also got to see the woofer here on top kind of flutter. So if we go back to the app here, now we're ready to go. We can actually place our cell in our space. Now, this is where that triphonic sound comes in. You can move the cell anywhere kind of within this bubble so that you can really optimize kind of the points at which it's hitting the room and filling the space. So because I have it here to my left on the desk, and I'm going to pair this one eventually that's on my right, I'm going to drag this cell over here to the left. I think it looks, yeah, about right. Maybe a little up a little bit more. Right there is great. Okay, so depending on where you wanted it in the room, let's say you wanted it right smack dab in the center, you just pick the center of the room. I'm going to go over here back to the left because, again, it's this cell right here that's plugged into the left of me. And if I press listen now, I'm good to go. Another sound effect there notifying that the activation has started, that we're ready to listen to some music. I love this part. I'm so glad that we are here. And again, like I mentioned, it's such a quick pairing process. I know that, maybe you're thinking, oh, but it pairs with Wi-Fi and then Bluetooth, and it's so seamless. It's so seamless and really takes a matter of just a minute or two, really. It's so fast. And now we're here, we've made it to the actual listening experience, and check out this sort of graphic, this visualization. So we have this gray bubble that represents the space, the studio space that I'm in. And we have our Cell Alpha here on the left, and it's on the left of the screen because, again, it's to the left of me here in the studio. Now, there's many different ways that you can actually connect your media to the Cell Alpha. We have Airplay, we have Spotify Connect, we also have a USB-C port here. You can also connect via HDMI. So there's a couple of different ways that you can actually get your music, your podcast, whatever your media is, to the Cell Alpha and start playing it in your space. So here we go. We are going to start with our Studio Airplay. Okay, so check this out, you guys. Let's go over to our music files here. Alrighty, and let me make sure that the Airplay is on, because again, we're connecting via Airplay. So we're going to go into Airplay and see here we have Studio Cell. So we've got one cell paired. So I'm going to select that. We're ready to go. And let's give it a listen. All right, guys, let me hop back into the Syng Space app so that you can check out this graphic. Now there's a knob here, right here. It's sort of this dial that you can use to control the volume. So I'm going to turn it up. And now I'm turning the volume down, but I could also control it via the app. So watch this. I selected that sort of central, that graphic there in the middle that represents Airplay. So I can just turn the dial up with my finger or down. Now that was a touch there on the app. I can also do it, like I said, with this dial here. And watch the volume increase as I turn the dial. And decrease too. So a couple different ways of controlling the volume there. Also, I love that we have this sort of fun, funky, interactive graphic there, this little animation. Look how cool that is. That's representative of the tempo, of the beat, of whatever song that you're playing. Now guys, I'm going to show you how you can actually sort of pinpoint different areas of the room simply by moving this little Airplay symbol across that circle. So again, the circle there, that blue circle, represents the studio space that I'm in here. Now, let's say I wanted to play music I wanted the music to be filtered and funneled out this way. So I'm going to move the symbol up there. And now it's being channeled here in this direction. Watch this. Now it's here. Well, I accidentally dragged it a little bit too far there, but that actually brings up a good point. You guys can switch in between your Airplay or your Spotify Connect, but see how easy it is to pinpoint certain parts of the room. So simply by dragging this Airplay symbol across the room, really anywhere that I want it, I can sort of channel the music in certain directions. And again, it's able to do that because we have these 3 different drivers here. Now, you guys didn't get to see this, but I want to play more music so that you can see the woofers. Here again, we've got 2. We've got one on the top and one on the bottom. You won't be able to see the bottom one, but you will be able to see the top one moving. So I want to show you guys that really cool look from the top down. There we go. Okay, great. Let's pull up some more music. Jumping back into our Airplay here. Studio Cell. Alrighty, we are connected. There we go. Check out the woofer here, you guys, as I turn the volume up. So cool, right? You could see sort of the top woofer there fluttering. We've got one on the bottom here that I can actually feel. If I kind of place my hand ever so gently on the bottom of the bulb, I can feel the bottom woofer moving at the same time. And again, they're configured in such a way that they sort of move together. They cancel each other out. Their movements cancel each other out. So you get that really unified, well-balanced sound there. And again, I love this sort of interactive, fun animation here with the tempo, with the beat. We can see it here on our app, which is really, really cool. Guys, I think it's time to pair the Syng Cell Alpha here to our app. So let's go ahead and do that now so that you guys can see how they sound when they're blended together. And look at how easy it is to add a cell to your space. Before I do that, I am gonna plug in our second cell here. So excuse me for one moment. Okay, we are plugged in. We're ready to go with this second cell. So I went into kind of the menu here, the drop-down menu. We have the option to set up more cells, and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Okay, so now you could click Show Me How if you needed guided instructions for how to set up your second cell or maybe your third or your fourth cell. I'm just going to go ahead and press Continue. And again, we're going to get this auditory response here, this auditory cue telling us that the app and the cell have paired. It's very subtle, but you guys probably heard it come through. So now it's adding this cell to my account. I've got it all plugged in. I've got the the mobile device here. So we're just waiting for it to pair. It's joining the network. It's joining the same Wi-Fi network that this Cell Alpha is also paired to. And again, you want to make sure that the Bluetooth is on for the initial pairing, and then it's going to transfer over to Wi-Fi. And Wi-Fi connectivity is sort of the last piece of connection and pairing. Really easy. So we are all set. I'm getting the green light here from the app, so I can go ahead and continue to my Syng space. Okay guys, so check this out. So I can choose either to have this Cell Alpha live in the studio space, or I can give it a new home. I could give it a new location, but because it's out here on the set with me right now, I am gonna put it in the same studio space as this Cell Alpha to the left of me. So let's go ahead and keep it here, both of them in the studio. And there we go. Okay, so we can start a sound check. Remember, we did a sound check for this one. Now we're gonna do a sound check to incorporate this one on the right. And again, the sound check gives you that, that auditory, that feedback. It's gonna play a little something so that you know that it's working. So let's go ahead and start the sound check, and I'm going to be quiet for a second so that we can hear both of them respond to the check. Good on the left. Now let's see about the right. We're good on the right too. And you could see not only is the app reflecting that the sound check and the pairing was successful, but we also had a little bit of a flutter of the woofers up top here that I could see. Okay guys, so this is where we get to configure our cells. And this is really, really unique to the Cell Alpha experience that Syng has created. Again, this is what they call super spatial sound. So what you're able to do is you're able to configure your cells in whatever manner you want, depending on how they're sitting in a given space. And then you're able to really kind of, again, pinpoint certain areas of the room and fill the space completely, thanks to your ability to sort of configure them through the app. So check this out. I can move them any way that I want. This greater gray circle represents my studio space. And because they're kind of sitting here, I'm in the center, one on the left, one on the right. I'm going to put them sort of on the same lines of latitude here, right across from each other. And once you're happy with whatever position it is that you want them in, yeah, maybe move them up a little bit. We're going to press set position. And now we're getting to set the orientation. So you guys can hear how they sound in relation to each other based on the configuration that you selected. So I think we're good with that. If you wanted to change it up, you could do that here. This is kind of your last chance to move them around. But I'm going to keep them exactly where I had them. And press set orientation. Okay. Amazing. Lovely, lovely sounds. I love that you get those feedback kind of cues from the speakers themselves, letting you know that they are ready to play all of your favorite music, your podcasts, everything that you love listening to. So check out the gray circle now. Not only do we have one cell, but we have two. We've got that visual representation there. We're still in the studio space. Again, you guys can set up to configure up to 4 cells, not only in a given space, but also in multiple spaces. You just name a different, put a different name to the space, whether you're in a studio, maybe you're in a home office or a kitchen or a living room, depending on where you are. You can play them together, or you can isolate them and play different things at different times. And that's really, again, super unique to the Cell Alpha, the Syng experience as a whole. So you get to be in charge of the experience. Now, since I have both of them here on set with me, of course, I've got to play both of them for you guys at the same time. So let's head back on into our music library. I'm putting the Airplay here, and look, I can configure it again with my finger. Let's go ahead and pick some music. Make sure our Airplay is on because we are playing via Airplay today. And guys, check this out. So remember how originally the Airplay said studio cell? Now it says studio cells. So we have plural 2 cells. That's how smart it is. It knows that you've got 2 configured here. So select studio cells. That's all good to go. And here we go. We're going to listen to some music. I'm going to go back into the space. And guys, the same way that I was able to do it with just 1 speaker, I'm able to do it with 2 and sort of select the point of the room at which I want the speakers to direct the sound. So I have it up here sort of in this upper right-hand corner. And I can hear it out there, coming out there. And now it's back here. Again, I'm controlling the sound the same way, the volume the same way, with the turn of that dial, that knob that just sits at the bottom. And you can pick either one. You can control both of them with either dial, which is great. You can also control them in the app like I showed you guys before. But isn't that so cool that you can have 2 configured at once, but you can still select the point at which you want the sound to be directed? Now, I want to show you that it has nothing to do with turning 1 speaker off or 1 speaker on. Both are still playing simultaneously. So let me show you guys this top-down view so that you can see both woofers going at the same time, so you can really get the full picture here. If I turn up the music, and let's say I pull it over here up to the upper left-hand corner of the room. Check out the woofers. When the bass drops, you're gonna get that fluttering effect from both of them. How good is that sound, you guys? It's so rich, it's so full, and again, it can either fill your space or it can really be channeled into one area depending on where you want to go. And that's all that triphonic sound that's really giving you that immersive 3D sound experience. Now, I want to talk a little bit too about the sound specs here, because I would be remiss if I didn't point out that the frequency response here is 30 hertz to 20,000 hertz. That's the frequency range that we're working with here. Not only that, but the decibels, we have 105 decibels at peaks. So anything over 90 is considered excellent. Guys, we are going a full 15 above that. How amazing is that? So we've got lots of volume here. We've also got a really wide frequency range, so you can hear the really low lows, but you can also hear the really high highs. It's going to give you a really full, rich sound experience where you're hearing all of those layers. And again, that goes back to the core of Syng's mission of blurring the lines between the artist and the listener. They really want to kind of bridge the gap there, so that you as the listener feel as close to the music as possible. Not only are you feeling it, you're controlling it from the app, you're also seeing it here with the woofers. You're able to control it manually yourself here with the dials. And I mean, guys, it doesn't get any better than this gorgeous, innovative, futuristic design that Syng is really known for. You can buy the Cell Alpha now. If you click buy now, you guys, they start $1,799. So click buy now, and you can have your Cell Alpha. You can have it in your home in whatever space you want, and then start building your Cell Alpha family. You can have up to 4 paired at once. And again, the app integration is just so good, so seamless. I know that you guys are going to love the sound experience that you're going to get. So intimate and so immersive. You guys, thank you so much for joining me here for this live stream from beta. I'll be back again really soon with more content. So I'll see you then. Bye.